Almost Adult Podcast.
I'm hitting the record button.
Okay.
Let me hit that shit.
Please.
Turn the mic on now.
Turn the mic on.
Mine's on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard yourself.
Did I?
Remember I played us back?
Oh, duh.
You know what? All right.
Hey
guys.
guys.
Hello.
Hey.
We're recording at night, so you should know.
Right.
You're about to get some weird shit. I feel like every time we record at night, we get weird.
I think it's, yeah.
I'm already
freaks
being
come
weird.
out at night.
The freaks come out at night.
Ow.
The freaks come out at The freaks come out. The freaks come out at night.
I'm a motherfucking city girl.
Ain't shit freak about me.
Okay. Even though this is an upbeat intro, we're about to get pretty serious.
Right. We about to get in our
if you didn't read
feels.
the name of the episode yet, you know what? I'm clocking
How
out.
did that happen?
I'm clocking out.
Not Becky like I'm clocking out. She about to take her time stamp and be like, she about to get her car.
How did that happen? Okay, let's straighten you.
Are you on? Did it turn it off by accident? No.
No, she won.
All right. Well, this could be a blooper. Let's start all over again.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Welcome to the Almost Adult Podcast.
We're recording at night.
We're
And
goofy
you
at
will
night.
tell that we're recording at night based upon our attitudes because we're a little goof, a little little crazy, a little nuts. So,
That happy like got you on happy.
no.
Are you sure you're not high? What's going on?
No, I don't know what's going on.
All right. Sake. Okay.
Anyway, so today's topic is about codependency.
Right.
Woo! What a topic.
What a time.
I swear, the recent episode I edited it, and you were like, "Oh, the favorite topic that we want to talk about," and I was like, "Who wants to talk about that? Who wants to talk about fresh shit?"
That intro was funny, though.
Yeah.
F-E-E. Hold up, stop the beat. Okay, so we're gonna talk about motherfucking codependency.
Woo!
Ain't shit cute about that.
It ain't cute at all.
It's
But we gotta talk about it because people be going through it, including me and Sunny.
Just us.
no,
Yeah,
I mean,
just us. No one
But I
else.
mean, I'm sure
Fuck me.
once we talk it through, I feel like you'll recognize.
I mean,
What
I
you
said, I mean, I may have went through it for a quick period of time to the point where it's like I can't remember,
Okay.
or it happened and then I realized it and just did my thing, or I've just always been, when it came to stuff, like a lone wolf.
That might just be you.
Yeah.
And that's actually really,
that
really
makes
great.
sense. If you're an Aquarius Venus, yeah, like you're very
Yeah.
independent with your love.
But the important, you know what's the crazy thing is, it's in my 11th house, and the whole thing I need to focus on is making meaningful relationships, like my life
That's
path.
crazy.
No, my what is it? Your north node.
Yeah.
It's what you're intended, like what you're on this planet for.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Mm-hmm.
your north node, your Chiron is what you're supposed to be doing in your life. And your north node's supposed to be like why you're on this planet, what lesson you need to learn. So like my lesson that I need to learn is to essentially, it's in Virgo in the 7th house. It's like I need to learn to relax.
Mine is in Virgo in the 11th house. My north node, because mine is bookmarked on
Oh.
my
I don't know. I know my south node is in Pisces and my north node
Really?
is in Virgo. Yeah.
Mine's in oh my god, I don't know what it is. My Chiron's in Capricorn and my 10th house. And Capricorn is 10th house ruler.
I'm gonna have to just look mine up real quick.
We got
I'm
real
a motherfucking- yeah.
astrological real quick, but it all ties in. It's about our personality, maybe why we're codependent. Definitely the Libra placements that me and Shadera have contribute. Like we're Libra Venuses, and how would you explain a Libra Venus in a sentence?
Obsessed.
Codependency.
Yep. Exactly.
They
exactly
fall in love. They're the type of people that look at somebody and like fall in love with them.
Essentially.
Like, kind of.
Like, they have a whole rom-com about their whole... like, a Libra Venus is like, if you're not, like, obsessed with them, you'll leave them. But, like, they have to be obsessed with you, too, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you like when people are obsessed with you and really like you. But if you're not obsessed with them, you could give 2 fucks, you're out the door.
I do. Actually,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about this, like, story of, like, when I needed someone to be obsessed. And, like, I feel like this was low-key, like, a God complex, too. I was like, bro. Like, I was...
Yeah, I can see that. I'm just saying I can relate, so yeah, I can.
Yeah, like, I was, like, asking this guy... I was I was just kind of asking him, like, do you think about me, like, 24/7? Like, do you, like, you know, like, do you, like, and he was like, no. And, like, this was, like, the uninvolved, like,
and he was like,
it involved me. Like, what is it called? Like, when you're, like, didn't evolve.
Unevolved?
Yeah, unevolved
yeah,
me.
I think that's what you said.
Oh, okay.
You're
I thought
fine.
it was messed up. Okay.
No.
So the uninvolved me, I'm not like this now. But I was like, are you, like, obsessive? Like, do you, like, think about me all the time? Like, 24/7? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh. Like, that was rude. Like, what the fuck?
You know
like,
what's really funny is that when I was in therapy this week, I won't explain the situation, but I was just saying, like, the reason why I'm, like, off of this situation is because I'm like, you should be suffering without me. And I feel like,
yeah,
since I'm not seeing that, like, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
Like, why
I don't
you...
think you should be suffering.
But you know what I mean. Like, you should... If I'm not in your life, you should be like...
Like, I can't believe I lost this person. No, I feel the same. Like, when I cut somebody off, like, deep down in my brain, I low-key do think, like, you should be heartbroken. Like, what the fuck is
so,
going
like,
on?
exactly.
Like, what? You should be really, like, in boo-hoo fucking tears because I was great to you. And, like, you should know. But in reality, a lot of people don't give a fuck. Like, they be like, okay, you stop fucking with me.
Yeah. But...
Like,
needless to say, I feel like no matter what your sign is, like, we all have some codependency traits somewhere. You could be codependent to the gym, codependent with...
yeah, then I had codependency.
oh.
I'm sorry. Wow, I just, like, said it and it was you. How? Explain.
Like, when I used the gym just to get over everything. Like, get through everything. And just very critical. Because, like, I noted now if we're tying it to the gym.
Right.
It's
it
could be anything.
Self-critical. I was very self-critical about my body when I was working out. I was like,
so your relationship with your body is very codependent on something.
Yeah.
Or
so
something.
Now that we're talking about it, let's kind of backtrack and kind of talk about what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is
what
codependency?
it is. What's up?
Oh no.
Sorry.
Not y'all.
I'm sorry that I stopped. I don't know why.
Look. All right.
Okay, so codependency refers to when each person involved is mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually reliant on the other. And how it can show up.
It can show up in relationships, in friendships, in essentially all the ships. And
ships. Not shit. Well, actually, in all the shits, if you're saying that codependency shows up in all the shits.
In all the ships.
In all of them. And pretty much, like, codependency.
No, we're not
if
gonna
you are
curse.
codependent on someone, I feel like in the best way I can put this is, like, you kind of feel like
you can't go on.
You can't go on without them. Like, not in a sense that, like, you'll kill yourself. Oh.
Not in a sense, I will cut that out. You can cut that out too. Not in a sense that you would, like, self-harm yourself.
Right.
This is why we can't record at night.
Well, I will continue. I will give some more brief examples of what if you don't know what codependency is, you might be able to seek this in yourself. Okay. So maybe you're really self-critical of yourself. Maybe, I don't know, you do drugs. I don't know.
What? What are you guys doing? Like, what is going on here?
Essentially, codependency looks like all these things. If you're self-critical, it says it right here. If you ignore your own feelings and then numb it with drugs, that's a codependency trait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It says makes excuses to cover
Miss Sharon Martin.
Oh, the con.
Counseling.com. Shout out to Sharon Martin. She said that.
Okay, Sharon Martin Counseling.com. She's an LCSW.
Licensed social worker.
Oh, really? Oh,
that's what it is?
Yeah, so many people at Westchester did that, so that's how I know. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
That's how I know how it stands for.
Anyway, Sharon Martin, there's this infographic that it was created in 2018, and it kind of like gives little bulletin points. We'll put it up on the screen, and it gives like just bulletin points of like what codependency may be, and like, so I mean, we, like Sunny said, you're very you're extremely self-critical. You focus on other people and their problems. You know what? Actually, I am codependent on fixing people's problems.
Wow. See, you learn something every day.
Doing for others even when it negatively impacts your mental health, physical health, and finances. I was always friends with people who, like, their boyfriends would put their hands on them.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Or they would tell me that their boyfriend would put their hands on them. Obviously, I'm the type of person who would believe the victim over.
Right.
So it was like crazy. And I'll say it offline. But there was one of the friends did something wrong to me. But not in terms of like sexually or anything like that. But like in terms of like mentally, like I'm no longer friends with them at all, or never will be. Like, no doubt.
Okay.
Like, cut, snip. Kind of probably brought it up, like, past episodes or whatever, but I was very, like, codependent on making sure that they were okay, or, like, you know, the type of be like, you need to leave them, you need to figure out a plan and all this stuff, but no, I gave up on that. I kind of just was like, all right, it's not, these friends don't care what I do or don't want my help, so bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, a couple of these, actually, I fit in most of them.
Yeah, me too.
It looks like I am the codependent queen based on these, and based upon what she was saying based upon what it's saying on here, it's like you focus on other people's problems, other people and their problems. You're very self-critical. You feel responsible for everyone and everything. You experience high levels of guilt and shame, which is like something that I completely experience all the time. You absorb other people's feelings. You're a people pleaser, afraid of disappointing or upsetting others. Oh my gosh, that's me. You have trouble setting boundaries and being assertive. You ignore your own feelings and needs, possibly numbing them with food, alcohol, or drugs.
Like Sunny said.
Intimacy, open communication, and trust are difficult. You act as a
martyr.
Oh, okay. Martyr, taking care of everyone else, giving without receiving, and then feeling
Why do you think you do that then?
I think, you know why? And I'm going to say this like real. I think it comes, and I don't think I mean it to be, but I think it comes in kind of a selfish attempt. And not selfish as in like, I'm trying to gain something, but like, I think when I was young, I learned that if you do certain things, you get rewards for it. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of just ultimately transformed into an unhealthy people-pleasing and codependency habit. Because even like when I think of like when I was younger, I hated when people were mad at me. I hated it. And I went to extreme lengths sometimes to get people to stop being mad at me. Very embarrassing extreme lengths at that. And, like, I couldn't, like, what's it called? Like, I just needed, or even, like, someone would do something wrong to me, and I would somehow make it my fault.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll think about, like, even, like, the situations that I, like, go through, like, now. Like, someone would do something wrong, and I would somehow try to find a way
to be like, maybe if I didn't do this.
Right. Or I'll be like, or maybe I did something and I don't remember, and I have to just remember it, and, like, maybe this is why they're acting. Or maybe they're just an asshole.
Period.
Like, maybe they're just a fucking asshole. Like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
like
I experience all this. I mean, like you said, like when you were younger, like I feel like a lot of mine, I mean, we're already talking about a dark topic, but to get a little darker, I feel like because before my parents died, I feel like when they were alive, I was very codependent, especially, I feel like it all starts in school for everybody, but I feel like in school I was very codependent on like teachers giving me like praise and approval, and especially, I don't know why, because even when my father was alive and like he was a present parent more so than my mom, but like maybe it's that Libra shit, but I was like obsessed with all my male teachers. Like I was like obsessed, and I'm like, I don't know what this is about, but maybe it could be codependency, just like feeling like I'm doing something well, or like, I don't know. And then I feel like joining a lot of clubs and like being so involved in school was very codependent as well, because like, especially after my parents died, I felt like I wasn't getting any type of like nurturing at home. Or like, people were, I felt ignored a lot at home, and I just felt like very, you know, like shoot off. Sorry. So like, I don't know. I just kind of just was very involved in school and never wanted to go home because I felt like I could get praise and like I felt like a celebrity, you know, whatever. But that's where all that came from. I feel like just like wanting to be noticed or wanting people to talk to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely feel that, man.
Did you ever accidentally call one of your teachers mom?
Yeah.
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely accidentally called somebody mom.
So, I mean, right now it's like that, like death anniversary of my mom right now, today. Wow. So it's like, I was very codependent on like, I guess, like in relationships with like my boyfriend's moms.
Okay.
And very much so, like, they would take me underneath their wing and like feel pity for me because I didn't have a mom. I only had my sisters and stuff. So I remember thinking like, next relationship, I'm not going to like hurry up and try and make a relationship with like Alex's mom, because I remember how like, say if it didn't work, knock on wood, like I didn't want to have to cut ties with that, because it's kind of like leaving. I kind of felt like it was like I'm losing a like stepmom or like a mother-in-law. Like I don't talk to any of those moms that I so that's where, I don't know, my codependency kind of lies, like in terms of like fitness and stuff. It's like with my body, my self image, like who I am to other people. I want to be the person you can come to and, you know, get solutions from. But like, it's weird. Like if you, sometimes I'm like, I feel like if you give me some information, it's not like I'm not, I don't know. I like tell Alex everything, but like anything that anyone's ever told me, Alex knows. So, so I'm like, does it feel bad that I'm like telling, like talking? It's not like talking shit.
I mean, like, everybody has somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where it's like I'm very self-critical about myself, because like some things that people come to me with, I'm like, I can't help them. I go, oh, I can't help you. Like you should do this, and it's just like, I don't know, weird. After that, it's kind of like
you feel like I didn't do anything. Like I shouldn't even, like, okay. I
shouldn't even offered. So I think that's where it kind of falls. And just like a trending theme is like my body, myself, like how I am, like growing up, like how much like everyone was like my family was obsessed with their own bodies. They still are. and how they see themselves, like, in clothes and stuff and fitness and all that stuff. So that's another thing I still am battling against, I guess, in terms of codependency, because I didn't even realize that could be even a possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
So now that we're talking about, like, our codependent experiences, I, like, just looked up an article to talk about, like, how does someone even become codependent? You know, like, I feel like we have all these different experiences, become codependent on family, on friends, on relationships, on materialistic items or activities. Like, you can get codependent on anything. So, like, how does one become codependent? So, according to reflections from acrossthecouch.com, codependency is often rooted in averse childhood experiences.
Yep.
A person can become codependent when you take on an inappropriate emotional responsibility, or they are, quote-unquote, parentified, being placed in a parental role at a young age in order to survive a traumatic upbringing. When this happens, the person, often the child, will begin to neglect and forsake their needs for the sake of another's, usually the parent. Unfortunately, this becomes a learned behavior on the one hand, helps you survive your childhood, but sets you up to struggle to maintain healthy relationships as an adult. And all too often, a parent is either over or underprotective, which encourages an unhealthy ways for the child to become codependent. Do you guys feel that?
I feel like both of our faces was just like blank that whole time. Like,
I just dissociated a little bit because...
Me too. I was thinking about all this shit.
I literally had to handle my own emotions.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like, I remember... Oh my god. This is, like, really traumatic. I remember, like, getting in trouble and being sent to my room and just screaming and, like, banging on the wall. I, like, wound up, like, just tapping on the wall, like, consistently. And I wound up breaking skin because I was so upset. Like, no one came up to, like, I didn't wind up eating dinner. Like, no one came out to just make sure, like, listen, like, I understand you're upset. This is the way I feel. This is why, like, I sent you to your room. This is why. Nothing at all. Just that plays in my head when it comes to, like, emotions and stuff, and why I don't want, like, if I have a kid ever in my lifetime, I don't want them to go through that feeling, like, that they couldn't express their emotions at all, because, like, that's so horrible. Like, I don't know, it's such a, like, it plays back in my head sometimes, like, when I, like, hear about, like, trauma, you know, your inner child and all that. And that's who, like, she was just only, like, 7 years old. So, like, she was just a kid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We go through a lot in our childhood.
I try to think. I don't really know if it stemmed from my parents, per se. I think it kind of just stemmed from me trying to survive school. Like,
okay.
I was always, like, emotional. I always cried a lot. But I really realized, and I had a conversation with my therapist, I had a really hard time regulating my emotions. So, like, instead of me, for instance, like, for instance, there was this one incident where, like, somebody asked to borrow, it was in 5th grade. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was, like, 10. And someone asked me to borrow the, like, my earphones. And I was, like, listening to something, but I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And I thought it was going to take really quick, but it ended up not. And she was my friend, but I was really upset about it. And it was so hard for me to just ask for my headphones back. I think I did ask for my headphones back, but she was like, oh, wait, just a second. And I just remember, like, having this overwhelming, like, rage because I was like, I want my headphones back. And I didn't know how to, like, express it. So I ended up expressing it in a very tantrum-like way where I literally got on the floor and I literally started banging on the floor. Like, what? I want my headphones. And it was like so hard for me to just express it in a very like chill way, because I just had all this rage. And like, I remember I've always been like this, because even like taking it back to earlier years, I had a hard time saying no, because I will be like, for instance, remember when I was like 5, I was talking to a boy, or a boy was talking to me because I wasn't fucking talking. And like, I had to pee really bad. I was like, oh, well, can we hold this conversation? Because I really have to pee. And he was like, oh yeah, just hold on for a second. And he kept on talking and talking and talking. And then eventually the pee just started going all the way down. And I just did not know how to just express like, that I need to go to the bathroom.
I'll come right back.
Yeah, I didn't know how to express, because I didn't want somebody to be mad at me. I didn't want that. And I feel like as I go through on the years, I don't know where it stemmed from, but I just know it's a big pattern of me not knowing how to say no.
I have like the weirdest, most similar story to this. And like, I don't know why I feel like I told this story before on the podcast, but we're going to do it again. It was so like, I don't know what that means for like that similar. I have a very similar story. I think it's just like the shame, or like I don't want to bother people, and like I don't want people to, again, think I'm annoying them or whatever. But it was about a teacher. I think this theme of like me and teachers, like I was bullied in school, and like that was fine, but like I don't think a lot of like relationships with kids impacted me as much as relationships with adults in my life impacted me. But anyway, I was in fucking kindergarten, and like in kindergarten, there's literally a bathroom in your room. So I'm like, why? So I had to poop really bad.
Oh no.
And I don't know why. I think the teacher kept talking, or she was frustrated, so I just didn't want to be like, oh, can I use the bathroom? Like on top of her being like mad about whatever she was mad about. So I was just like gonna hold it. Then she was like, Sonny, can you pass out these papers for me? And I think at that point I was about to start shitting. So I'm passing out papers and like shitting at the same time, basically. Like I have shit in my...
Oh no.
That was the worst, yo. It was kindergarten. It was so uncomfortable. And like, I'm sure the teacher was like, she's not like, what? Okay. So I remember my mom obviously came, and like, my mom was so pissed. She's like, why did you say I had to go to the bathroom? Like, and I was, I was 5, but like, I always think about like, why didn't I just...
What would you tell her though? Like, what would you tell like your younger self that in that scenario? What would you want to have heard? Like you said, you just got yelled at
by your mom.
Mm-hmm. I actually didn't get yelled at. I was panicking because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble. And she was like, no, I'm not mad at you. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, you just had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay.
But that wasn't the reason.
No, yeah.
So like you didn't understand that.
Yeah, I think my mom had an understanding of what was going on. Like my teacher was like, she just kind of pooped on herself.
Yeah.
Walked around the class.
Mine, I think she just was like, oh, like she just didn't go to the bathroom on time. But I didn't tell her like, no, it was actually because I was listening to someone. He wasn't even talking about nothing. I don't remember what he was talking about, but I know he wasn't talking about nothing because I wasn't even paying attention.
What do you think that may be, though? Like, if you think about, if you heard that about, like, someone's kid, like, what would you think? Like, oh, like, you kept it, you didn't tell your mom, like, the real reason. You kept it from her for a reason. Like, and same thing with, like, do you feel like it's maybe because, like, you didn't want to, like, actually, like, have a conversation about that? Like, how you felt like you had to, like, like maybe your mom might have pressed on you and be like, well, why would you just not tell him to stop talking? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. For me, for instance, I think
it's still stuck with you though.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily like, oh, I was too embarrassed to tell. I know there are situations where I was too embarrassed to tell her, like too embarrassed to tell her about the tantrum thing, for instance. Like I did not tell her about that, and like that girl like hated me from then on. Completely on. Yo. Like, I had a lot of girls hate me just because I didn't know how to regulate my emotions. But, like, And, like, I don't know. In that situation, I don't know. Like, maybe I just was... I think I was just more relieved that she wasn't mad at me. So I was going to just put on more information on her because she's not mad at me. That's all I need to know. Codependency can really suck because it's like...
It stems from somewhere.
It stems
from your childhood or somewhere. Like, honestly, it has to.
Yeah.
And it has to stem from one certain moment that you felt like that way.
Maybe for me it was just too young that I can't even remember. Like, I have no clue.
I don't know either. Like,
I think that's like...
What are you trying... Like, what exactly is the question? I'm sorry. Say it again.
Like, do you think... Like she said, it stems from, like, a moment in time where you had to parent yourself, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, parentify yourself. You were put in a scenario where you couldn't understand, so you overcompensated. And now you're just kind of overcompensating in general. So, like, it could be, like, with me, with my mom... She wouldn't let me feel my emotions. Like, she wouldn't let me express myself, shut it down. I said what I said. That's it. No debate, no conversation, no reason exactly why. Which, that in itself, because, I don't know, because she's dead and I see all these videos, it gets me, like, really worked up because I can't have that conversation with her. Like, I can't have those talks, those conversations.
That closure?
About, yeah.
Yeah.
As, like, someone who might, like, deal with like, a narcissistic parent. So.
She was narcissistic? Oh.
Like, now, like, realizing it now. Like,
yeah.
She did the best she can. Her mom abandoned her when she was younger. So, like, it was, like, her way or the highway. So that kind of brings out, like, the codependency of, like, if it's someone certain way, like, I don't get, like, I need to know exactly why and reasons because yeah. So
no, okay.
I don't know. That's a lot. This is a lot. But
yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
But I like the conversation. I just genuinely, like, feel like
denying the problem is one of a kind. Like, you're done. Like, when people are like, I don't, like, rely on anyone. I didn't even know until we actually were talking about it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had some, codependency issues.
It's crazy.
And, like, I'll say one more thing before we move on. But, like, I don't know why I was thinking about my stepmom a lot when we were talking about this. Because I just feel like from before, when clearly I changed when my parents died. But, like, I feel like I was a totally different kid from when I was with my parents to when I lived with my stepmom. And I think it's just because she doesn't listen to this. She blatantly didn't let me express my emotions. And, like, especially for a kid, like, I expected so much more than what was given to me after what happened to me. Like, I remember me and her I was in 9th grade, I'll never forget, and I went to this, like, I went to intake for therapy because I feel like I was telling my therapist in high school I wanted to kill myself. And low-key, I feel like, I was telling my therapist I wanted to harm myself. But, like, I feel like I said it because maybe I did kind of mean it at the time, but I also just felt
unseen.
I didn't know what else to fucking do. Because, like, I go home and, like, no one really talks to me. No one asks me. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? I don't feel like anybody gave a fuck as much as they did at school. But then it's like, I don't know. It was a lot. So, like, I remember going to therapy and, like, we only went to one session and, like, I never went back. And I'm like, well, why didn't you make sure I went back? Like, I don't know. I just really, like...
You needed a parent.
Yeah.
You needed someone there to, like, guide you through. Like, you needed someone to be, like, disciplinary in a sense. Not in a, like, you must do this, or you're kicked out. But, like, a parent. You needed a parent at the end of the day.
Yeah, she's somebody to care. Yeah. And I feel like that probably was what sent, like, the boy thing into overdrive. And, like, yeah, like, I just felt like nobody really cared about me like I cared about me. So I just I felt like I've just been this independent since then. Like, I just was like, all right, well, if nobody else is gonna
the over independent
me,
like, independency of need, like, to do it your individual, like, holistic, independent like feeling to just do everything yourself. Because if it's not going to get done, it's not going to get done.
Right.
No one's going to help me. That's how I felt.
That's how you feel too. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's exactly how I feel.
'Cause I feel like
I don't feel like that anymore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I don't feel like that anymore. Because I have someone.
Yeah.
Like, who lets me be myself, but also is there for me to make sure I'm okay. Like, and who listens to me. So when you don't have that, that's that community, that sense of, like, self, like, guidance, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's just like someone to just be, like, there for you. Then that's where it's, like, the whole codependency of you needing everyone else, though.
And
like, you,
I feel like...
Yeah.
I feel like also, like... I feel like with your scenarios, like, in your scenarios, it, like, I can understand or I can connect the dots. But, like, when I'm, like, hearing you guys' scenarios, and I'm trying to connect my dots on why I'm like this, the dots aren't connecting. I don't know if I'm, like, missing pieces, and, you know, my memory is very messed up, so that doesn't help my case either.
You know, I was thinking about this for you just now, like, while you were talking, because you haven't mentioned your dad at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's not even, like, thinking about it, like...
No.
I know, it doesn't. And I just don't...
And I low-key... Not that I know you, I'm your therapist or anything, but I feel like that might contribute to a lot of your codependency as well.
It probably does, because, like, I feel like...
But I don't know. I don't know you, so I don't know when he left or what, you know.
One of the things with my friends or my relationships, I remember, like, in teenagehood, like, I, like, wanted people to need me. Or I wanted people to feel like I need them. So maybe I'll, like, do stuff or play dumb when I'm really not dumb at all in order for them to feel like I need them. And then, like, they kind of cling on me more because, like, they, I don't know, like, they're like, oh, well, I need to help her in a sense. I don't know where that comes from. Like, it's just so many different layers. Like, I feel like my codependency is just so complex and so deep rooted, and, like, even in the way that I move, like, to not...
Maybe that's something you need to tackle, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it in therapy because I'm, like, thinking about it. But, like, I'm just like, dang, like, I don't really know where this comes from. And I feel like mine is, like, real, like, deep, like, real, like, a lot of my decisions, even now, is very rooted in people pleasing. A lot of them, or even the things that I say, and then I'll think, like,
or
why
in,
did
like,
I say that?
you need everyone's opinion.
Yes,
so you make your own,
and that's so hard too. I need everyone, especially, like, when I'm not like
I do sometimes for certain things.
Yeah, well, I guess mine for certain, because I don't really ask for anybody's opinion when it comes to career, like, at all. Like, when I'm thinking about it, like, I'm thinking about, like, the different things that I don't, or, like, when I'm making, like, I don't think I asked anybody's opinion, for instance, like, for this apartment, but, like, when it comes to, like, things that I'm not sure of, I'll ask for a lot of opinions, and I still, like, even the scenario that I'm in now, like, I literally just asked for somebody's opinion today. Like, I just, like, it's just, I'm like, I know that this is happening, but I just want to hear what you have to say, because maybe I'm still, regardless of what everyone is saying, maybe I'm still getting it messed up. Like, it's crazy. But, I also, did you guys want to say, because I wanted to get into the, how to become less codependent in your relationships. Do you guys have anything else?
You gotta, no. Let's do that. So let's, like, kind of wrap it up a little bit.
Okay. So, here are 9 tips to become less codependent in relationships. So the first one is to work with a mental health professional. I think this is really important.
Right.
Oh, where's this at?
I think this is, like, really important.
Reflections from across the couch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got others too. I have other.
You ain't even sent it to us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought of it. You guys are gonna cut this out, right? Because
no.
Why?
Why not?
Okay. All right. I put it in here.
Okay.
So, okay. So definitely working with a mental health professional is definitely important.
Yes.
As you guys seen us unpack or heard us unpack, there's a lot of like when you have like codependency issues or whatever, like it's rooted in like very deep in like your childhood and very deep in like all aspects of your life, and like sometimes it's like very intertwined that you can't even tell where it came from. And in order for you to like get to the bottom of it, you got to find the root. So like definitely working with a mental health professional is definitely important, and it helps you like tackle these issues that you have with constantly needing people's approval, constantly needing to hold on to people as if like you can't like literally live without them, and just like dismantling that so you can be your best self. Then you want to go into the second one?
Put your own needs first. I'm very big on you need to worry about yourself at the end of the day. That's like my saying. Worry about yourself at the end of the day. It's gonna be who's gonna do anything for you at the like. No one else is feeding you. You're not like a hostage in any situation. You can walk away. At the end of the day, it is you, only you.
And it also says to ask yourself, what is important to me? And I think that is such an important question because, you'll think about how everybody else feels and what's the best solution for everyone else and all this. Like, no, what do you need right now?
Yes.
Like
1,000%.
How can you meet your needs?
We'll do one more.
One more what?
Like one more of these.
Oh, then we're done. Just read the rest of them for this. Whatever.
I mean, we can always post it.
Right. We can share the article.
Yeah, we'll share the article and we'll show you.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, we'll post a little thing about it. A little graphic.
But yeah, the third thing on this list is practice self-care, which is obviously like one of the biggest things. I honestly find myself like I'm in a relationship now, but like I find myself like when my partner's not there, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm like, girl, if you don't go
have your own identity.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like you kind of lose that a lot when you have a partner. So it's like, and that helps you become less codependent, helps you, because I feel like I also like, I was talking about this off camera too, but like just focusing on your goals is also self-care. Like you're always worried about somebody else's goals and trying to figure out what somebody else is doing. And like there's two people in a relationship. Like you can't be happy in a relationship if you're not taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, practice self-care. If you need ideas for solo dates, you should go to Hella Bomb Boss on TikTok.
Dating Dara.
Yes.
Yay! But honestly, this is very important. One of the things that I've been like thinking about like lately, because I've been like on like this dating hiatus. Like I have not re-downloaded Hinge.
I'm so proud.
Good.
I have not like, and I was talking to people on Hinge, but like I communicated instead of ghosting, and I told them that I need to focus on myself.
Good.
And I actually got to tell you a story about that because it was funny. But anyway, besides the point, one of the things I was thinking about was like, how can you expect to have a beautiful, fulfilling life with a partner if you don't even know how to do that for yourself first?
Yeah.
And like that really hit me because I will wait to build this beautiful, fulfilling life until I finally get my partner, and that like the quote unquote missing puzzle piece is finally here, instead of filling my own missing puzzle piece with hobbies and skills and beautiful moments and experiences and travel and things like that. So now I've been on this journey of like ultimately creating this beautiful, fulfilling life for myself before I even date, because I'm tired of relying on someone else to fulfill me and to like, that's a part of codependency in a sense. So yeah, just a
Fill your
thought.
cup up.
Fill your cup up, girl. Or guy.
Or they.
Or they.
The girls
or them.
Everybody.
No.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
I was thinking of something.
In the club getting tipsy.
They, them.
Yeah, I was thinking of like a Z one. I don't know. Anyway, but
everybody in the club.
So, we'll wrap this up here. Thanks for listening. I hope you got at least something out of it. It's
Or learn something.
Yeah.
How
Same
about
thing.
be codependent on us?
Please be.
Kidding.
You should
we're
be
kidding.
codependent on this podcast.
I was like, that's
That is very
toxic.
But okay, bye guys.
Bye. Perfect ending.
Oh my gosh.